All right, everybody, welcome into Definite Fiction here. Alex with you, of course, back again for another 215 season, and want to shout out, of course, Chris Dorsey, having me back, and, of course, the lovely ladies here in the concession stand for letting me sit in here while it's pouring rain. Well, not pouring, but it's potential to start pouring. All right, so just like 2 years ago when I started this thing off, we are here for a inter-team, well, game, not a scrimmage, but both 215 teams. The AAA level will play each other to begin the season here in their whole opener. The red team headlined by a ton of Flora kids, and the gold team headlined by a bunch of, if I can think of the name, Spring Valley JVers and varsityers. So it's a ton of fun, just this team especially. You know, you get to see a lot of what these teams bring up next year as well. Of course, the red team for Flora last year, here with the 215, was a ton of Flora kids. So like Roper Wensky, Sam McCutcheon, that whole kind of 9-yard starting lineup for the Falcons really this year was a lot of kids that played for AC Flora this past season, and now we're seeing a lot, like, of course, on the mound, Riggs Scott here. Of course, if you are joining us from another 215, welcome in. My name's Alex Ross. I am the broadcaster here on Definite Fiction for AC Flora. This is where you'll find your whole 215 setup this whole summer, as well as, of course, today here as well. Jeff and I do all the AC Flora games, so if the game is at Ben Lippen, we won't probably be doing it. However, we will be doing every single game here. Jeff, of course, has lacrosse to coach, because what else would Jeff be doing on this beautiful rainy day other than coach lacrosse? But, so it's just me. I'm going to try to lock in. It's been over a month since you probably last heard me call AC Flora when AC Flora was knocked out of playoffs by a very game York team. But we are back here one more time to play some baseball, and you know, and me and Jeff's hustling. I actually didn't get the start of the positions for the red team, so I really haven't been able to put everything down on my score sheet, but we'll go across down real quick. So Jackson Williams leading it off, Luke Smoke second, Brady Evans third, Jacob Smoke fourth, Cedric O'Neill fifth, Jacob O'Neill sixth, Roland Boyd seventh, Ben Pierce eighth, and Devin Dixon ninth. Righty on righty, let's get it on the way. Riggs Scott fires home, fastball upstairs, ball one. I am also in charge of course, the beautiful score bug on the bottom, so bear with me as I try to get myself back into everything. And of course, you know, everyone who knows me from Flora knows it will be a very detailed game from me. Should be a ton of fun. The first pitch, well, the first strike is a foul back. It's gonna be 1-1. You know, it's always weird having a month off, you know, after these games. It happens really between the football and the basketball season. Hopefully it won't happen next year. We have a very game football team looking to hopefully make a deep run at the playoffs. Of course, you know, a long way to get there, and unfortunately it happened here between the end of spring and beginning of summer. Well, Riggs Scott on the bump, 1-1 the count. Williams at the dish. That pitch is hammered to deep left field. Walking back is Conley. He looks up, and it is going to one bounce the wall. Well, the man who hit in this two-hole for the Vikings of Spring Valley delivers a leadoff double for the gold team. You'll have to let me catch my breath here. Of course, I came straight from work because, of course, I did, and Jeff got here around the same time as I did. So we're pretty much setting up on the fly, meaning I'm usually a little more prepared than I am today, a.k.a. I do get here actually ahead of time, but I didn't have enough time to take off stuff for work, meaning I am basically, as I'm speaking, finishing writing everything into my scorecard. Very uncharacteristically of me, but here we are. Well, the right-handed Riggs Scott on the bump, the left-handed Luke Smoke at the dish. First pitch coming home, bluffs a bunt. And now they got him caught in a rundown, but nice job from Williams, takes off. Fudger threw it down to second, and Williams, who would have been caught off the bag instead, now gets to third. And I will also keep keeping everybody up to date with the 215 just around the state, because we have a ton of games, including our senior team playing post 15 today. They have a 2-1 lead after a Roper Wensky 2 RBI single. AAA teams look like they're winning so far. Stripes is beating Dutch Fork's green team 7-1. The silver Dutch Fork team is losing to, I gotta get everything into my system in mind, the Navy team, I believe. 1-0 the count, fastball wide, ball 2, 2-0. So coming into today, the red team won a doubleheader yesterday against, well, again, very uncharacteristically not prepared for this one. Of course, you're going to hopefully listen to me the rest of the year and understand that I'm a little more prepared than this. That grounder's through the hole on the right side of the infield. Looked like Haggins may have had a play, but it trickles into right. So an RBI single from Luke Smoke gets the Gold team on the board. It's 1-0. All right, so 1-0 lead for the Gold team, who are the visiting team here. Designated visiting team, of course, interleague game, but Red team comes in 2-0. They won a doubleheader against Hopkins yesterday. The Gold team is 0-1. They lost to Blythewood. Another left-hander at the dish. Brady Evans digs in the pitcher for the Gold team. Scott fires home. The fastball upstairs, ball 1. So for those fans of Flora, we actually saw Riggs Scott in one of the marquee games for AC Flora this season when they welcomed in the Miller School for the Forest Acres Classic Championship. Riggs got the start in that game, pitched excellent, keeping a Miller lineup that is touted with many college commits at bay. As the 1-0 is on the way and his foul tip back into the net. It'll be 1-1. Riggs did not get a decision in that game after the Falcons surrendered the lead late and allowed Miller to complete the comeback again. No shame in that, considering this Miller team won state up in Virginia and has a ton of kids committed, just like basically their whole infield. Now Riggs trying to have some fun this summer with a 2-1-5. 1-1 skips in, ball 2. Runner takes off from first. Smoke will get in easily without a throw as Fudger couldn't grab it. First stolen base of the season for Smoke, I believe. Of course, I do have stats. They were all done very late last night after we figured out we were doing this game. Luke went 1 for 4 yesterday in the loss. There we go. We're trying to figure things out. 2-1 on the way. Fastball misses a tad outside against the lefty. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. Nobody gone here in the opening frame. 1-0 lead for the Gold team. Again, the 2-1-5 has 2 AAA, 3 AA, and a senior team all in the helm of Richland County. Time called by Brady Evans. Evans, a rising senior here for Spring Valley. Went 1 for 2 with an RBI in the loss yesterday. Getting his first cracks here at one of his 1-2 home fields. Scott looks back to the runner at second and will wheel and deal. The 3-1 swung on and missed. Change up right over the heart of the plate. It'll be a full count pitch incoming to the 3-hole Evans. Waiting on deck will be Jacob Smoke, Cedric O'Neill, Jacob O'Neill to follow. Of course, I'll run through the positional changes of the Red team between batters here in a moment. The payoff one more time. On the first time, it swung on and missed. Change him on the outside edge. Gets Evans. There's one away. All right, so let's quickly run through the positional alignment of the Gold team here. Or the, excuse me, not the Gold team, the Red team. Campbell Conley, he's in left. Hampton Flake center. Kate Snyder right. Jack Long at third. Luke Lockhart at short. Ben Clary at second. Cam Haggins at first. Brennan Fudger behind the dish. And Riggs Scott on the bump. All right, I think everything should be good, so I can calmly now start to call a game. Well, runner on second, 1 away here in the opening frame. Jacob Smoke at the dish. Scott fires the curveball, misses low, ball 1. Riggs had a great day at the dish yesterday in the doubleheader. Had 5 RBIs over those 2 games, making his first appearance on the hill for the Red 2-1-5 AAA team. May just start going with red and gold here as the game progresses. A 1-0. That ball is lifted to the right side, past first base and going into foul territory. Giving a look is Haggins and Snyder, but they'll watch that one fall out of play. So 1-1 the count, 1 gone here in the opening frame. 1-0 lead for the Gold team after an RBI single from Luke Smoke and a leadoff double from Jackson Williams do the honors. Again, first home game of the season for both teams. Technically, they were on the road, and I believe they were supposed to play here last week, but that got rained out late. I believe it was Thursday. I wasn't unfortunately going to be able to make that one, but I should be able to make every other game, barring the times I'll be on vacation, which depends on the week for me and Jeff. The 1-1 from Scott. Beautiful pitch, called strike 2, broke right across the heart of the plate. It's a 1-2 count. Smoke, the rising senior, went 2 for 4 yesterday in the loss. 2 RBIs, but 2 doubles in those 2 hits. So it's either double or out. Scott giving a long look at the runner at second. Keeps glancing back over. Dancing is Smoke. Now Scott fires. The curveball is popped into the right side, just out of the infield, into the outfield grass. Going back is Clary, and he has room and makes the play between the 2 outfielders for out number 2. Looks like he kept trying to change direction going back either way, but was able to make a nice grab, and now there's 2 away. Again, special thank you to letting me sit here for the first time in the concession stand. I'm always on the other side in the bleachers, but with the rain today and Jeff manning the lacrosse team, it's pretty much I am staying dry and staying cool for the most part. Now there's 2 away here for Cedric O'Neill. We've seen O'Neill here multiple times as he's a mainstay on the 2-1-5 teams. Righty on righty, first pitch is a fastball over the head of Cedric. It's ball 1. O'Neill tonight getting the catching duties. His brother Jacob will be batting in the 6th hole, playing third tonight. The rising senior here for the Blazers of Ridgeview hit .273 during the spring season for Ridgeview. 1 RBI, 4 doubles. It was a tough season for the Blazers as they were in one of the tougher regions in 5A. You know, one of the newest additions to that 5A division after all the realignment happened. Scott, the 1-0, he'll fire it home. Fastball misses wide against the right-hander. It's righty on righty. 2-0 the count. 2 gone here in the opening frame. Runner on second. And a 1-0 lead for the Gold team. Long pause for Scott. He's giving a lot of look at Smoke at second. Now time is finally called by O'Neill in the dish. Smoke has the RBI for the Gold team, an RBI single into right field that scored Williams after a leadoff double from the second baseman. That's how we stand right here. 1-0 lead for the Gold team, 2 outs. And now Smoke on second. The 2-0 from Riggs. Called strike 1. Fastball paints the inside part of the zone. Looks like the rain has let up just a bit. Still very overcast here, though, so expect some on and off rain throughout the rest of the evening here in Richland County. Count is 2-1. Scott will fire it home. Fastball is swung on and missed in the left-handed batter's box. Got O'Neill to chase. It's now a 2-2 count with 2 gone. So we're talking to Jeff. I will be gone tomorrow up in Carowinds, but Jeff will be here for the first senior game here on Definite Fiction. Again, their first game of the season is today on the road against Post 15. The 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball stays wide. Good eye from O'Neill. That'll run the count full. 3-2, 2 gone, 2 outs. The opening frame, a 1-0 lead for the Gold team over the Red team. Trying to start the season off right here at home for both of them. Scott comes set, looking to deliver his 18th pitch of the day. In the first inning, day still works. The payoff is popped foul. It'll be 3-2 again. Looks like our senior team is tied 2-2 here against Post 15. On the bump, of course, is our favorite puppet master, Sam McCutcheon. A lot of Flora talent on that senior team as well from this last season. Payoff one more time. Off the hands of O'Neill over to the third base side. It'll be the third baseman Long who has it. The long throw to first is in time, and that will retire the side here in the first. But again, leadoff double from Williams. RBI single from Smoke. 1-0 lead for the Gold team. We'll go to the bottom of the first right here on Definite Fiction. All right, welcome back here to Definite Fiction again. If you're tuning in for the first time here to watch some Legion, welcome in. My name's Alex Ross. I'll be the voice of the whole 215 here this summer season. A little about me, of course. I didn't really get into that too much, considering I was basically rushing in to figure everything out right when I got here, but I was the voice of the Lexington County Blowfish last season. Now I am back with the 215, which I was the voice of about 2 seasons ago, back in the summer of 2023. That was a lot of fun as well back then, and got to see a lot of great players for the 215 for Flora and other schools, and now I get to be back here again. Rick Scott leads off and pops the first pitch into the infield. Nice play from Jacob Smoke, the first baseman, who had to reach over after it was a miscommunication between Williams, Evans, and Smoke. That will be the first out. So quickly through again. Usually I'll be a little more on top of everything, but with my just kind of quick day it's been, I'll run through the alignment real quick. Devin Dixon in left field, Roland Boyd center, Ben Pierce in right, Jacob O'Neill at third, Luke Smoke second, short, Jackson Williams is second, Jacob Smoke at first, Cedric O'Neill behind the dish, and the left-handed Brady Evans on the hill. Lefty on righty, first pitch is a changeup low. It's ball 1 to the catcher, Brennan Fudger. Quickly through the red team, it's Scott batting first, Fudger second, Flake third, Haggins fourth, Snyder fifth, Lockard sixth, Long seventh, Conley eighth, and Ben Clary 9. The 1-0 is a fastball called, strike 1 low at the knees. It's 1-1 now with 1 gone here in the bottom of the first. A 1-0 lead for the Gold team after a leadoff double from Williams and an RBI single from the 2-hole hitting Luke Smoke. The 1-1 from the southpaw. Call, strike 2, high in the zone. Fudger doesn't like it. And this Gold team, or this red team, excuse me, littered with AC Flora talent. Fudger was on the JV team along with Riggs Scott for most of the season. Riggs did come over and play some varsity towards the end of the year as well. The 1-2. Breaking ball stays away. It's ball 2. Fudger for JV had 4 RBIs, 7 strikeouts, 11 walks, as the 2-2 on the way is muscled foul to the left side, and it'll stay 2-2. And a very overcast day, making the temperature not being as bad as it usually is this summer, only 75. 2-2 is swung through and missed. Change up low in the zone is good for strikeout number 1 for Evans, and out number 2 here in the bottom of the first. Now Hampton Flake will bat third here in the order, the center fielder for the red team. There's Hampton, the brother of Charles. First pitch to the lefty is muscled over to the first baseman. It looks like, hopefully you can still hear me. Yes, you can. My headset just cut out, but that will do it. Stepping on the bag is Smoke, the first baseman, and that will retire the side. Well, let me try to fix my audio issue, but all is good here. 1-0 lead for the Gold team. We'll be right back here at the top of the second. All right, sorry about the, my bad. You know, my audio on my headset cut out. Luckily, everything's all right. Just a little audio issues with just not being in the right place, so things weren't lined up the way we were hoping they were going to be lined up. All right, again, welcome back here to Falcon Field. Top of the second between the gold and the red AAA teams here for the 2-1-5. Again, Alex Ross with you. Thank you for joining me here on this rainy afternoon here in Forest Acres. Righty on righty, first pitch, change up high to Jacob O'Neill. It's ball one. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 due up here for the gold team. O'Neill, Boyd, and Pierce here against the right-handed Riggs Scott. The 1-0 on the way. Fastball up and in, ball two. Make sure not to touch my wires. I almost have another problem here. Everything should be good on everyone else's end, though, just mine. And there it is again. The 2-0 on the way. Change up upstairs, ball three. Well, for the JV team, Riggs got his 6th appearance, had a 3.91 ERA for 14 innings pitched. Again, his 1 appearance for the varsity team came against Miller for the Flora. The 3-0 off speed stays up high. A 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning for Jacob O'Neill. Well, now it'll be Roland Boyd here batting 7th today. Of course, we saw Boyd here on this channel earlier in the season on the Forest Acres Classic. Roland was a part of a Cardinal Noon team that got a really tough draw. They had to face Miller and Lexington back-to-back before almost completing a vigorous comeback against Lugoff Elgin. Righty on righty, first pitch from Riggs to Boyd is called, strike one. Change up low in the zone. Boyd had a 321 on-base percentage here for the Cardinals this last season on their varsity team. You know, you have to kind of delegate with JV and varsity since this is the 1700 team. The 0-1 is popped foul to the right side. It's quickly 0-2 here. Boyd, another one of those mainstays on the 2-1-5. It's always fun seeing players that really I saw 2 years ago now back here on some of the AAA and even the varsity teams. Like a senior team, if you will. The 0-2. That changeup is grounded through the left side of the infield and the left for a base knock. O'Neill will go to second. I guess no out single here for Boyd to put runners at first and second. It's now the 3rd hit of the game already for the gold team. And I'll bring up Ben Pierce, the right-handed right fielder. Pierce will be a rising senior at Spring Valley next season. He had 5 RBIs in the season this past year for the Vikings. Righty on righty. Runners at second and first with a chance to add on to their 1-0 lead. Pierce shows bunt and he pops it foul to the right side. It'll hit the net. It'll be 0-1. Now, I haven't mentioned it yet, just with everything going on, but this gold team actually is the reigning AAA state champions last season. They made an incredible playoff run after it felt like the red team was having a strong regular season. It was the gold team who put it all together and won the state championship, the first one for the 2-1-5. Bunt shown again, the 0-1 is popped to the right side. It will be foul. That took a tough backspin. The first baseman Haggins charged in. It was between him and Fudger, and all of a sudden that ball hit fair territory and it just spun right back. So it'll be 0-2 with nobody gone here in the top of the second. Runners at first and second for the gold team, who already has a 1-0 lead. You know, talking to Coach Dorsey with that gold team, you know, it's always weird playing in the summer and having a mesh of kids come in who just don't know each other, don't play well with each other. And the 0-2 hits Pierce on the arm. After back-to-back jumping out in front 0-2 the count, it was a single and now a hit by pitch that will load the bases with nobody gone here in the top of the second. But going back to what I was saying with Coach Dorsey, you know, you have a mesh of kids who all come in, and now we're going to see the red team come and talk to Riggs. But, you know, the gold team, they're not like the red team. Last year's red team was all pretty much Flora with a couple of just inserts here and there. The gold team was pretty much everybody else. That team didn't really know each other. Of course, summer, you always take vacations everywhere around the state. So, like, for instance, the senior team had Nolan Cook leave for pretty much a whole month of their playoff run 2 years ago before he finally came back from, I believe, Spain. So with all of that kind of winding into one, excuse me, with all that winding into one, you know, it's kind of hard to develop relationships. You know, you develop relationships in the dugout, but then developing them on the baseball field is so different. And that team finally did come together, and they made a nice run to the championship where they won it. Of course, the first championship under the 2-1-5 moniker. Senior team looking to get one, as well as one of these two teams this season. Well, it's righty on righty. Devin Dixon, the 9-hole in the order. First pitch, swung on and missed. Changeup upstairs, strike one. Don't actually have much on Dixon. I couldn't find too much, you know, they would always tell me I knew everything. I don't know everything. I can only know what I can find. And all I know is Dixon, wearing number 23, went to Blythewood. The 0-1 from Riggs. Changeup called, strike two on the inside part of the zone. That was Jim Stevens who said he knows everything. I know enough, but I couldn't find everything, especially with all these kids playing at different schools and changing schools all of a sudden on me. Summer's the weird time for us broadcasters. The 0-2. Fastball upstairs, ball one. So definitely able to tell me something, you know, going after this game. But first time I'm seeing him play, and the rest of this gold and red teams, after they had their first game here, get rained out last week. The 1-2. Fastball stays up around the letters. It's ball two. So 2-2 the count. Nobody gone here in the top of the seventh. Or the second. Yeesh. Getting my feet under me again. Been a month. Bases juiced here for the gold team, who leads it 1-0. Riggs Scott going to try to fight out of some trouble. The 2-2 on the way. Foul tipped off the catcher's mask, and Fudger can't recuperate it. It actually stayed in the air long enough that if Fudger would have found it, he may have made a great catch on it. Instead, falls helplessly to the dirt, and it'll stay 2-2. So 2-2 the count, bases juiced, top of the second. There we go, 1-0 lead for the gold team over the red team. Scott will wheel and deal the payoff. Well, not the payoff, but the curveball stays wide. Now we'll get a payoff. There we go. I promise you I'll be a little more better as the season goes on. This was just a wild last, I guess, 24 hours for me. Scott will deal the payoff on the way. Fastball up and inside, ball four. That will walk home a run. And now it's a 2-0 lead for the gold team. Of course, it's a rainy day. It's a little hard to grip the ball, and seems like that one just got away from Riggs. A 2-0 lead for the gold team. Still nobody gone here in the top of the second. The second walk of the day for Riggs now brings the top of the order back up. Jackson Williams. You know, it's weird for me. I have one of my good friends named Jackson Williams, so seeing Jackson Williams playing second here for the gold team is not normal. Righty on righty, bases juiced, top of the second. Now Scott will step off. I really couldn't talk about it because I was coming on the air, and the rising junior of the Vikings. Oh, looks like, I guess, a balk on Scott. I did not see it. I was looking down at my score sheet, but that will bring home a run. Pierce goes to second. Pierce goes to third. Dixon to second. It's a 3-0 lead. But Jackson Williams was hitting second all season for the Vikings, pretty much. He had a .325 average of 12 RBIs. First pitch to him is foul tipped into the glove. 0-1. Williams, along with that .325 average, 6 hits were doubles, 1 triple. One of the big reasons the Vikings made a deep run into the playoffs into mid-May. The 0-1 from Scott. That one's grounded on the left side, just left of the third base bag. Foul ball. Would have been hammered into the left field corner, which would have easily scored 2, as that ball would have found the deepest part of, I believe, the field, weirdly enough. Jeff and I were talking about that during the season, about the dimensions of the field, but I believe the lines are weirdly one of the deepest parts comparatively to like the right center field and the left center field gap. The count is 0-2. Scott will wheel and deal the pitch. Breaking ball in the net. Nice job from Fudger to keep it from going to the backstop. It'll be a 1-2 count now with nobody gone. Williams in the loss yesterday went 1 for 3 with 2 walks. He's not a big walk guy. Only had 6 for the Vikings this past season, but he'll take them when he can get them. Scott kicks and deals the 2-1, or the 1-2, excuse me, is lifted into the air. Shallow center field. All 3 converge, but it'll be Hampton Flake, the center fielder, who catches it. He'll make a strong throw in. That would have easily gotten the runner at home. However, both of them hold, so it's just a pop out for out number 1. So Williams is retired now for the first out of the inning. That brings up Luke Smoke. Smoke was the originator of the damage back in the first inning. He had an RBI single to right field his first go-around, and now he bats with 2 on and 1 out. Runners at second and third with a 3-0 lead for the Gold team in the top of the second. The left-hander digs in, the right-hander on the hill will wind and deal. The first pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 1. Of course, I am calling this game radio style for all my Flora fans and for all the new ones alike. I call pretty much every game radio style, which means if you are not paying attention to your screen, you can still know what's going on. It's pretty much how all the minor leagues do it until, you get to around the AAA level where they have sort of other broadcasters, and of course then the major leagues have a radio broadcast and a TV broadcast. The 1-0. Fastball up around the letters, ball 2. Again, shout out for Chris Dorsey, the skipper of the 215 senior team, for having me back. I took a year off with the Blowfish last summer, but back here in Richland County, ready to have some fun with a lot of these kids who I've seen, either come up through the JV team a little bit as well as on the varsity. Of course, I've seen a lot of these kids as well don the 215 moniker through these past couple summers. 2-0 the count. Riggs will wheel and deal the pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 3. It's a 2-2 game for our seniors who are trying to keep the post-15ers away from taking the lead. Hank Collins on the bump, a 2024 graduate of AC Flora. 3-0 the count. Scott will fire. Change up upstairs, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Smoke will load him back up. Before the inning, I saw Riggs trying to shake out, I believe, all the dirt from around the mound, trying to get some footing as, the rain was pretty much consistently coming down here in the Midlands of South Carolina from around, I would say, 3, 4 o'clock to pretty much right before game time. So bases juiced, 1 gone now for Brady Evans. Evans went down swinging his first time around. Now the left-hander digs in with the bases juiced. The first pitch. Fastball wide, ball 1. Infield staying back. Middle infield double play depth. Corners are in, though. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. Heater upstairs. It's 1-1. No win, which is, kind of a rarity here. I feel like we've had more wind this past season than most, but no wind here at Falcon Field. Outfield slightly shifted to the right here against the southpaw at the dish. 1-1 from Scott. Fastball upstairs. Not even close. It's ball 2. Well, the pitcher, Brady Evans, a rising senior for Spring Valley. He's had a great year on the hill for the Vikings, now trying to do it here with the bat for the Gold team. 2-1. Called strike 2. Change up top of the zone. The umpire has not been calling those high pitches so far tonight, so that's the first pitch I think he kind of may have taken the top part of the zone. The 2-2 on the way. Fastball spiked in, gets by Fudger. That will round a run to score as Ben Pierce will jog home. Both runners, Dixon moves to third, Smoke moves to second. It's now a 4-0 lead for the Gold team, 3-2 the count. So runners at second and third, first base opens up, but it would load the bases yet again for Jacob Smoke. Long pause from Scott on the hill. Now he'll go into motion, the 3-2. Fastball wide, ball 4. It's now the 4th walk of the game for Scott. Now we'll load him right back up for Jacob Smoke. Well, a right-handed first baseman, a nice play in the infield after a pop-up that was miscommunicated between the red team, or the Gold team. Now he comes back up to the dish. However, another mound visit may be all for Riggs. Of course, Riggs, after taking a month off pretty much from live pitching, may see his end, and that will do it. Well, we'll have a pitching change right here at Falcon Field. Don't go anywhere, as the 2-1-5s, 8 AAA teams doing battle right here on Definite Fiction. All right, well, no pitching change quite yet. It looks like they're going to try to have Riggs labor through here in the second. Looks like the whole infield came in, and I thought they switched Riggs and maybe it was Long or Lockhart, but they ended up having them stay in their positions. So it's going to be Riggs Scott staying on the hill. He'll get his 8th batter of the inning, and Jacob Smoke, who popped out to the second baseman his first go around. Righty on righty, bases juice. Scott fires. Fastball called, strike 1, low in the zone. Our senior team is now down to their final 3 outs after post-15ers put one across late in the 6th. So it's a 3-2 lead going in the favor of the bad guys. The 0-1 right here in front of you on the way. Curveball that kicks off the shin guard of Fudger. It'll go to the backstop. That will bring Dixon home. Both runners move up. Smoke to third, Evans to second. It's now a 5-0 lead. 1-1 the count. Scott will wheel and deal the 1-1. Fastball wide, ball 2. Scott long pause, waiting to deal to Smoke. Now he'll go into motion. The 2-1. That ball grounded to the left side, past the diving, Long at third into left field. 1 run will score, getting the windmill around third is Evans. The relay throw to the plate, not in time. That will allow Jacob Smoke to go to second, a 2 RBI double. And now it's a 7-0 lead for the Gold team. So after popping out his first time around, Jacob Smoke delivers a 2 RBI single, gives a Gold team now a 7-0 lead here in the top of the second. And the 9th batter of the inning, Cedric O'Neill, will wait at the dish. Barring a weird double play, the Gold team will bat around and more here. Again, welcome into Definite Fiction, the home of Legion baseball this whole summer. Me and Jeff are going to be proud to bring you every single game right here at Falcon Field. Of course, we do share, I guess, the home field rights with Ben Lippen this season. But again, shout out to Chris Dorsey, who's currently coaching the senior team, who's now down to their final 2 outs, trailing by 1. It's Breon Earl at the dish, trying to make a late comeback here. And another mound visit to Riggs. This time it may be all for the young rising sophomore. We'll step away momentarily. A quick mound visit right here. All right, welcome back here to Definite Fiction after an extended break. I think they were trying to make sure the mound was a little easier for our pitchers to grab their footing on, but it'll be Hank Gaines, I believe is how you say it. Apologies in advance if I mess it up. He will relieve Rick Scott after an inning and a third. Gaines was on the JV team all season for AC Flora. His first pitch is a fastball in the dirt that gets away from Fudger. That will allow Smoke to move to third. It'll be a 1-0 count now. Runner at third here with a 7-0 lead in favor of the Gold team. Gaines appeared in 5 games with a 1.08 ERA over 13 innings pitched. Had 1 start and was 1-1 on the season for AC Flora's JV team. Again, this red team littered with a lot of Flora kids. This Gold team littered with a lot of Spring Valley kids, with a couple of Dreer and Ben Lippen mixed in, among others. The 1-0. Change up upstairs. Ball 2 here to Cedric O'Neill. Well, the catcher here for the Gold team grounded out to the third baseman, Jack Long, his first go-around. Now he has a 2-0 count with 1 gone. Righty on righty, runner at third. 7-0 lead for the Gold team here in the top of the second. The 2-0 is on the way, and it's a changeup inside. It's ball 3. The 3-0 all the way, called strike 1. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. That's where our senior team did losing. They had the lead early, but surrendered it late. A 3-2 defeat. They will be back here tomorrow, again, right here on Definite Fiction. The 3-1 from Gaines. That ball is popped into the air, right side in foul territory behind the plate. Going over is Fudger, who has room near the backstop and makes the play on the warning track for out number 2. Nice job from Fudger. Seems like he may have gotten a late read on it, but ended up figuring out where that ball was and making the play. There's now 2 away. Of course, a couple other notes as well. As looks like Jacob O'Neill will be the 10th batter in the inning. Rick Scott stays in the game. He is playing at third. Everything else stays the same. First pitch, righty on righty, called. Strike 1, changeup low in the zone. So O'Neill actually got this inning going with a leadoff walk. Now he's back up to the plate with 2 gone and the runner at third. Gaines comes set. The 0-1 on the way from him. That one's tipped foul straight back. It's 0-2. Red team trailing 7-0. Due up. They have 4, 5, 6. Hagen, Snyder, Lockhart. Count is 0-2 with 2 gone, top 2. Gaines will deal the pitch. Swung on in, missed. Curveball gets to the back of the net, though. Going off to first is O'Neill. He will get there, so an RBI wild pitch, if you will, on a drop third strike. You don't see that every day. That will allow Smoke to come home and score. Jacob O'Neill takes first. Now with 2 gone and Roland Boyd at the dish. What a weird play. You know, I've seen a lot here on this field, including a triple play at one point. I have never seen a drop third strike that goes to the backstop and scores a run. Righty on righty, Boyd stands in. Fastball in tight, ball 1. Boyd got one of the hits so far here for the Gold team, one of the 4. He singled earlier this inning, came around to score as well off of one of the wild pitches. The 1-0 from Gaines. Fastball up around the letters, ball 2. So 2-0 the count, 2 gone here in the top of the second. An 8-0 lead for the Gold team here over the 2-1-5's AAA red team. Of course, both these teams will call this field home and will be here all summer. The 2-0. Breaking ball in tight. That is fouled to the right side, out of play. It'll be 2-1. Of course, this Cardinal Newman team is very familiar with AC Flora. They've been, of course, Roland Boyd, one of them, but they've been here in the 2-1-5 system for years and years as the 2-1 is shot foul to the right side of the play. It'll be 2-2. And that includes Alvin Murray III, who is currently on our senior team with Coach Dorsey. Murray, the Newberry commit. We'll be talking about him tomorrow. Well, Jeff will be. I won't. But I'll be listening along with everybody here at home. The 2-2 from Gaines. Fastball wide, ball 3. So 3-2, 2 gone. Top of the second, 8-0 lead for the Gold team. Runner at first is Jacob O'Neill. He'll be in motion here with the payoff incoming to Roland Boyd. Gaines comes set. O'Neill runs the payoff. Breaking ball, that's chopped to the third base side. Pass Reg Scott in the left field. O'Neill takes the hard turn at second, but he'll retreat after Conley quickly gets it in. It's a 2-out single here for Roland Boyd, which puts runners at first and second now with 2 away. So now Ben Pierce, who was hit by a pitch his first go-around earlier this inning, represents now the 12th batter in the inning. He came around to score as well, and now he digs in for the first time against Gaines, righty on righty here at Falcon Field. Of course, Jeff will be joining me sometime in the near future. He is coaching lacrosse over on the ice to the right of me. Of course, if you guys tuned into all our lacrosse streams and some of our baseball streams, he was raising money for that team. He's actually coaching over there. First pitch, though, right here on Definite Fiction is a breaking ball upstairs. It's ball 1. Jeff had a fundraising event for the B-teamers to have their summer team, and now they're actually getting to play together, trying to build that camaraderie that will hopefully bring a lacrosse championship to AC Flora. The 1-0. Fastball foul tipped back into the mask of Fudger. It'll be 1-1. It's been a long second inning here for the Gold team, who've just extendedly continued to draw walks, hit by pitches, and had some timely hits to add to this lead. Gaines comes set, the 1-1 on the way. Change-up called, strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Nice pitch from Gaines. Paints it yellow and red. It's now a 1-2 count. You guys can hear the Friar waiting in the background as I'm sitting here waiting for the pitch. Now the 1-2 comes home. The fastball away, gets off the glove of Fudger. It's ball 2. Both runners advance a bag. O'Neill to third, Boyd to second. Another wild pitch this inning here for the red team. Just has not been their night here at Falcon Field. Deuce is wild, 2-2 the count, top of the second with 2 gone. Runners at second and third as well here for Ben Pierce. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball way up high. It's ball 3. Another full count yet again here for this Gold team incoming, who have drawn so many of them. I feel like that's at least the 4th or 5th one they've been able to at least draw here in this inning so far. First base is open, so runners will not be in motion here with 2 away. Pronunciation is key. The payoff on the way. Slider stays wide. Gaines lost him, and I'll load the bases up with 2 away now for the 9-hole Devin Dixon. So Gaines does have a strikeout, but it was a drop third strike, which kept the inning going. A single and a walk have so far been what he's been able to draw, along with a foul pop out. So bases juiced, 2 gone now for Devin Dixon, righty on righty. 8-0 lead here for the Gold team, top of the second. First pitch from Gaines. Called strike 1, fastball on the outside edge. The 0-1 on the way. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. I think it may Gaines actually slipped on the mound, of course. For those who have never been on the baseball diamond, a lot of the most compact places the dirt is on the mound and at the plate, meaning that dirt really, well, not compact, but it's not as thick usually as the 1-1 on the way. Looks like a changeup misses wide, ball 2. So it's not compact, it's a little thinner because of everyone basically standing on it, meaning that dirt gets a lot more wet, a lot more quick when the rain starts falling, meaning it takes a lot, takes a lot of, you know, if I can find my words, like concentration to keep your footing, especially on the mound. You have to keep firing. The 2-1 misses wide, ball 3. Apologies, finding my words was apparently a lot more difficult than I intended them to be. But no, every time Gaines throws a pitch, that footing becomes less and less stable, is basically what I was trying to get at. And it's a lot easier to lose your footing on the mound when you're moving all the time, rather when you're in the box, of course, when you don't have to move as much. 3-1 the count. Gaines will fire. Fastball runs in tight, ball 4. A 5-pitch walk will walk in another run. It's now a 9-0 lead for the Gold team. O'Neill will come home to score what is now the 8th run of the inning. And now the top of the order back up here, Jackson Williams. Williams has popped out to the center fielder in shallow center and has doubled off a 1-bouncer to the left center field gap. Righty on righty, first pitch. That one's grounded right back up the middle. Past Gaines, the second baseman ranging over is Clary. The throw on to first is not in time. It will score a run. Everybody else has to hold at their bags. Now, should definitely be ruled as an infield hit. It was a tough play for everybody. Almost a great play from Clary at second. But an RBI single from Williams extends the lead. It's now 10-0. So Boyd now comes home to score. Pierce will go to third. Dixon second. Williams at first now for Luke Smoke. Smoke has walked and singled here, and I guess I missed the first pitch looking down at my notes. I didn't even hear any hit anything, so I guess it must have went straight to the backstop. Well, no, I think they just changed balls, I believe. I'm not sure. That's what I get for not looking up. So I believe the count is 1-0. I can check back on the stream in 1 second. The pitch is high, curveball. It's now 2-0. So 2-0 the count. Bases juiced here in the top of the second. 2 away. With a 10-0 lead here for the Gold team over the Red team. 2-0 fastball is called. Strike 1 to the outside edge here against the southpaw Smoke. Long pause from the right-hander, who will wheel and deal the 2-1. Change-up swung on and missed. Strike 2. Smoke fooled by that one. Again, of course, shout out to everybody who's letting me stay here in the concession stand after the rain was coming down. I wouldn't have been able to really stay dry with all my papers, so that's why you hear all the fun noises around me with the food. 2-2. That one's lifted into the shallow center field. Flake will come on and make the one-handed grab to retire the side. Well, what turned to be a 9-run inning for the Gold team gives them a 10-0 advantage here over the AAA Red team. We'll move into the bottom of the second right here on Definite Fiction. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back here to Falcon Field. It's a 10-0 lead for the gold team as we enter the bottom of the second, where the red team will, after a long extension in the field, will now try to come up and chip into that lead from the gold team. Of course, both teams under the 2-1-5's umbrella here for AAA. So, as you saw right there, Hagen's going to give a quick fist bump to Cedric O'Neal. You know, technically two different teams playing for the same one, the 2-1-5, the gold team, the defending AAA state champions from last season. The red team had a great regular season, just came up a tad short. Well, Brady Evans, we haven't seen in nearly 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Will return to the hill. Had a great first inning for the gold team. 1-2-3, pop out, strikeout, ground out. Now we'll get 4-5-6. Cam Hagens digs in, the right-handed first baseman. He watches the fastball stay away. It's 1-0. Evans will be a rising senior for Spring Valley. The southpaw deals quickly. The 1-0 hits the dirt. It's ball 2. Evans had 6 starts with a 3-1 record for the Vikings. 12 earned runs over 28 2/3. The 2-0. Fastball skips in, ball 3, and now Evans seems to be having a little trouble with stability on the mound. I talked, I guess, as cohesively as I could have about the state of the mound, with it not being as firm as it should be. It's a 3-0. Fastball is high. A 4-pitch walk to Hagens puts a runner on first. The first runner of the game for the red team. You know, along with the stability of the mound, Evans has had a long wait in the dugout, so coming out and trying to, you know, get back what he had in the first inning. He probably was warming up. I'm just not in the position to kind of see it. Well, Snyder will be pitch hit for, who didn't even get a chance to hit, I believe. It'll be Adrian Davila. I believe that's how you say it. Davila, a rising senior for Midlands Middle College. He takes a first pitch right down Broadway. It's 0-1. Lefty on righty. The southpaw on the hill will come home. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Blew a fastball by Davila on the outside edge. It's 0-2. Davila played for the Providence Athletic Club JV team, where he had a homer and 3 RBIs for him this past season. He went 0 for 2 yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader. The 0-2. His shot straight foul right back of the net. It'll stay 0-2. Of course, Evans, he was 1 for 2 in their loss yesterday on the hill. Now he's making his first start on the mound after he had a nice day at the plate with an RBI and that 1 hit. The 0-2. Curveball swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2 for Evans. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. There's now a 1 away here for Luke Lockard, the left-handed shortstop. We saw him on Definite Fiction earlier in the season as well as part of the Dreher Blue Devils. Now the rising junior will dig in for the 2-1-5. Southpaw on southpaw. First pitch is up around the letters. Ball 1. Lockard had one of the better years for the Blue Devils. Hit .347 for Dreher. The 1-0. That one's lying right back where it came from. That will find the center field grass for a base knock. Smoke couldn't grab it at short. So it's a 1-out single that moves Hagens to second. And now there's 2 on and 1 out here for Jack Long. So Hagens provides the first base runner. Lockard provides the first hit for the red team. And now they're in business as Jack Long will dig in, or it was Jack Long in this spot. It may be another batter. It's Campbell Conley. I think after all the misses, I think I got everything right. First pitch is called. Strike 1 on the outside edge here against the lefty. They may have switched their batting order around on me with all the changes. Not sure. The 0-1 on the way is low for ball 1, so count is 1-1 now. Yes, this is Conley. I guess they had it wrong in their system. The 1-1 from the southpaw. Called strike 2. Almost looked like a 2-seamer on the outside edge. I'll have to see who's on deck. But it is Campbell Conley at the dish. 1-2, the count, one gone. Evans fires. Connolly fights that one off to the left side out of play to stay alive. Connolly played for Hammond this past season on their JV team, well, not on their varsity team a little bit, but mostly on their JV, where he hit .240 with 8 RBIs. The rising junior looking to be a mainstay here on this red team. The 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed on the outside. Second strikeout of the inning here for Evans, and now there's 2 away in the bottom of the second. So what they're doing is Hank Gaines will now be hitting where Canelo Conley, I thought, was. Gaines was on the JV team for Flora, righty on lefty. First pitch, changeup, swung on and missed on the outside edge. It's 0-1. If they didn't do anything else a little weird with the lineup, I think it's Ben Clary waiting on deck as the last batter in the inning, and that looks to be the case. The 0-1 on the way. Swung on and missed. Blew a fastball by him on the outside edge. It's 0-2. And 10-0 lead for the gold team here in the bottom of the second. Red team trying to strike back. They have runners at first and second with 2 gone here against the southpaw Evans. The 0-2 on the way. Curveball misses low. Good eye from Gaines. It'll be 1-2. Gaines was 0 for 1 on the JV team for AC Flora. He was more of a pitcher. Now getting his chance to bat here for the 2-1-5. The 1-2 changeup is low and away. It's ball 2. Long pause, now the 2-2 fires. Fastball low, filler up. 3-2, 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. 10-0 lead, but the red team. Runners at first and second with 2 away. Evans trying to fight through here for the gold team, get him back to the plate. The 3-2, runners go, but it doesn't matter. It's above the head of Gaines, and a walk will put runners at every base here for Ben Clary. It's now the second walk allowed by Evans. He walked the leadoff batter here in the second, Haggins, who's now at third. Lockhart at second, who had a single back up the middle. And now a walk to Gaines puts Ben Clary at the dish with 2 away. Bases juiced. Clary, the rising junior for Ben Lippen, hit .250 this past season for the Falcons with a homer and 4 RBIs. Lefty on lefty action, bases juiced. First pitch to Clary. Fastball called, strike 1 in the inner third of the plate.
Get ready to go.
Infield staying back normal depth. First base smoke is beyond the first base bag as the 0-1 swung on and missed. Changeup on the inside edge, and now there's 0-2 the count. 2 strikes on Clary. And waiting on deck, Riggs Scott, the leadoff batter in this lineup, trying to get back to the plate to do some damage. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Blew a fastball by him high and inside, and that will retire the side. The red team leaves them loaded as it's now a 10-0 lead going to 3 right here for the gold team. We come back on Definite Fiction. Stay with us. All right, welcome back here to Definite Fiction. Thank you for joining me as I'm finding my legs here under me as we're now back here in the summer. Of course, it's been almost a month, I believe, since I called my last game here on Definite Fiction. Blessed to be back here with the 2-1-5 this summer. And now I'm ready to move to the top of the third, right along with everybody else. It's a 10-0 lead for the gold team here at Falcon Field as they will bring back up 3, 4, and 5. Hank Gaines back on the hill. The right-hander fires home. His two-seamer misses away. It's ball one against the left-handed Brady Evans. The pitcher for the gold team has had a stellar game so far, allowing no runs and only one hit to the red team. He has walked and struck out swinging thus far in his 2 plate appearances. Gaines delivers the 1-0. Change up upstairs, ball 2. It'll be Evans, Smoke, and Cedric O'Neill. Jacob O'Neill to follow if it gets that far. Due up here in the top of the third inning for this 2-1-5 gold team. The 2-0 on the way. Breaking ball stays upstairs, looked like a slider. It's now 3-0. Gaines will kick and deal. The 3-0 pitch on the way. Called strike one. Fastball in the inner third of the zone. Looked around belt high. Nice pitch from Gaines. Gaines will wheel and deal the 3-1. Fastball stays up around the letters. It's a 5-pitch walk, almost a gentleman's walk, if you will, to lead off here in the top of the third. Oh, I may have something there. Gentleman's sweep, gentleman's walk. We'll figure it out later. But now with nobody gone and a runner at first, it brings Jacob Smoke back up to the dish. The right-handed first baseman is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a pop out to the second baseman. Righty on righty. First pitch on the way is nubbed foul to the right side. It's 0-1. Jacob Smoke will be a rising senior here for the Vikings next season. Again, 2 for 4 with those 2 hits being doubles. Runner goes, the 0-1 is a changeup low. Perfect pitch to run on. Great jump. No throw down to second as Evans steals the bag. That was Evans' first stolen base of the summer. He had 2 back in the spring. 1-1 the count. Runner at second. Still nobody gone here in the top of the third. The Gold trying to add to their 10-0 advantage they have over the AAA red team. It's going to be a long summer, fun summer here on Definite Fiction. The 1-1 fastball up and inside. It's ball 2. Gaines, who's given a lot of look at the runner at second, now fires. The 2-1 is popped into the infield right at the pitcher, Gaines. He'll retreat off the mound as now the, well, no, it'll be Gaines who took charge. No one covering third. Heads up, base running from Evans. The whole infield came in. It looked like Riggs Scott was going to take over for him. But then Gaines called him off late, so he was the one who received the infield pop-up almost on the pitcher's mound. But Evans said, well, no one's going to go to third. I promise you I'll go over there myself. One infield pop-out for Smoke. That's good for out number 1. Evans at third now for Cedric O'Neill. Righty on righty, 1 away here in the top of the third. O'Neill 0 for 2 with a foul pop-out and a ground out. First pitch on the way. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. O'Neill has the distinction of being the only Gold member to not reach base so far today. Of course, he could change that with one swing of the bat. And on cue with all the still being damp on the hill, Gaines will call time and shake off his cleats before he steps back onto the rubber. The 1-0 from Gaines. Fastball upstairs, ball 2. Well, if you're just joining us, the Gold team jumped out to a 10-0 lead after a 9-run second inning. Now they're looking to add on with it. A runner on third with a 2-0 count. 1 gone here in the top of the third. The 2-0 from Gaines is fired home. The changeup is called. Strike 1 on the outside edge. Of course, around the 2-1-5, the senior team lost their first game by a final score of 2-3. They'll be back here tomorrow in their first home game of the summer. Before we get there, though, the 2-1. Fastball upstairs, ball 3. The 2-1-5 Stripes team is currently beating Dutch Fork's AA team. The green team, they lost to the silver team twice in these past couple days. The Navy is 1-1 this season. They're playing Blythewood today. The 3-1 is chopped weakly to the left side. Foul ball. It'll be a 3-2 incoming. Then the post AA white team, they beat the silver team for Dutch Fork 5-3. That's your quick around the 2-1-5. Of course, the other 2 teams in the system are playing right here, the AAA teams. So 3-2, the count, 1 gone. Runner at third here for O'Neill. The right-handed Gaines will set to fire. The payoff. Fastball misses high. Ball 4. That'll put runners at the corners with only 1 out for Jacob O'Neill. So with O'Neill reaching first, now every batter here in the Gold lineup has reached first base safely at least once this evening. It'll be Jacob O'Neill now at the dish, who's reached base twice, once off of a walk and the other off of a drop third strike. Righty on righty, runners at first and third, of course. O'Neill at first, he doesn't go as the first pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. He would have probably easily stolen second as Fudger had to slide over to down the ball. Fudger not known for his speed, but he did have a stolen base in the loss yesterday. Say 1-0, he doesn't go. The fastball stays wide, ball 2. Now, yesterday for the Gold team, it was a slugfest in their loss. They lost 10-12 against the Blythewood Bombers AAA team. Now they're up 10-0 here against the red team. The 2-0. That pass ball is popped straight foul right behind home plate. It'll get out of play. It'll be 2-1. Got my cameraman and partner in crime, Jeff, is currently coaching lacrosse. His B-teamers over on the ice to the right of me. And as he told me, Coach Purdy is all locked in for them. The 2-1. Change up upstairs. It's now 3-1. Coach Purdy is the head lacrosse coach at AC Flora, the multi-time coach of the year for the state of South Carolina here in lacrosse. He's ready to see what his B-teamers can do, and eventually on the varsity level in a couple of years. As Asa, his Jeff's son, graduated 8th grade this past season, or year, I guess. 3-1 runs in tight. Nice eye from O'Neill. A 5-pitch walk will go the bases with only 1 out. Another gentleman's walk here will bring up Roland Boyd. Bases juiced. Only 1 gone here in the top of the third. Boyd has singled not once but twice here today, accounting for a third of the hits here for the Gold team. Righty on righty, bases juiced. First pitch home is bounced to the left side, foul. It'll be 0-1. Roland joins a number of Cardinal Newman players that have done well in the 2-1-5. Of course, Hart, Roll, and GT Oliver are part of the blue team, I believe, a couple of years ago. That team no longer exists. The 0-1 is tapped to the left side, foul ball. It'll be 0-2. Hart Roland was a leadoff hitter for the Cardinals this past season. Had a great season, hitting over 300. He just graduated. GT Oliver, one of the relief pitchers. And again, Alvin Murray, part of this Gold team last year that won the state championship. He's on the senior team this year, the Newberry commit. I guess signee at this point. The 0-2. Changeup hits the dirt. Nice job from Fudger to keep it in front of him. Keeps everyone at their bases as the bases are juiced here in the top of the third. Long pause here from Gaines on the rubber. Gotta find my words. As now he'll set to deliver the 1-2. Curveball misses low. Nice job from Fudger to glove it. Another tough pitch to keep in front. But a better eye from Roland Boyd makes the count 2-2 with 1 out. Long pause, now the 2-2. Gaines delivers the pitch. That one's flown out to a shallow right field. Snyder's got a read. He goes over and makes a sliding catch after the... Looks like he may have just misread it for a second. It's good for a sacrifice fly that will bring home Evans from third. Tagging and going to third is O'Neill. But Boyd delivers. It's now 11-0. Excuse me, that's Davila out there. They said Snyder was in the lineup, but it is Davila in right. Apologies, I'll make sure everything else looks right, and it should be good. Love coming in there to these things. All right, righty on righty. 8-hitter in the lineup, Ben Pierce. Looks like actually a pitch hitter, I believe. That's not Pierce. Gaines fires the first pitch. That's chopped to the third base side. Nice backhand from Riggs. He'll make the strong throw to first, and that is in time. Right, grounding out to end the inning. Believe that was Garrett Ferriel. I'll make sure I get that one right when I come back, but that will do it here in the top of the third. It's an 11-0 lead. We'll be right back here on Definite Fiction. All right, welcome back here to Definite Fiction. It was Dylan Redden who grounded out to Rick Scott at third base to end the top of the third. I do not know these players as well as I will be knowing them hopefully in the next couple weeks, so unfortunately cannot tell who is who just by looking at them. Well, righty on righty, first pitch outside, ball one. This time Riggs watches one go by instead of swinging at the first pitch. He pumped out to the first baseman back in the first inning. Now he's up for the second time today. Righty on righty. 1-0 on the way. It's a fastball called for strike one in the inside part of the plate. It's 1-1. Couple of lineup changes as well. Looks like Redden stays in the game. He's in left field as well as R.J. Hughes is in right. The 1-1. That's a hard liner to the second baseman Williams who waits back on it. The throw into first is in time and there's one away. Riggs is now retired for the second time tonight. It will bring Brendan Frudger back up to the dish. The southpaw on the dish, deals to the righty. The first pitch to Fudger is foul tipped, I believe, called strike one. Doesn't look to be a nice curveball that dipped late, and Fudger couldn't hold back. So far, it's been an effectful day for Evans. He has 4 strikeouts, technically struck out the side back in the second. However, that included a couple walks. Low and one chop right back up the middle into center field for a base knock. After striking out his first go-around, Fudger gets the second hit for the red team this evening. Puts a 1-out base runner aboard. So Hampton Flake will be up for the second time today. Flake grounded out to the first baseman Smoke his first go-around. Now the southpaw digs in for the second time with a runner at first. Evans fires as the fastball up and in, ball 1. As I mentioned, Hampton, the brother of Charles Flake, the first baseman and pitcher here for the 2-1-5 and AC Flora varsity team. The 1-0 changeup's called strike 1. That one, I think O'Neill set up on the inside part of the plate, but it came right over the heart. The count is 1-1. Firing quickly is Evans. He spikes a fastball, but a nice job from O'Neill to keep it in front of him. It's now 2-1. 11-0 lead here for the gold team in the bottom of the third. The red team trying to strike back. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Spit a fastball by him on the inside part of the plate against Flake. It's 2-2. On deck, it's Cam Haggins. And if it gets that far in the hole, Adrian Davila. Evans kicks and deals the 2-2. Fastball upstairs. That'll fill her up. 3-2, 1 gone. Runner at first. The catcher, Brennan Fudger. The red team trying to get on the board here. The payoff. The fastball is low. A nice job from Flake. He watched it go. He worked the count full and drew the walk. Now runners at first and second with 1 out here for Cam Haggins. So the first baseman drew a walk his first go-around. 4-pitch walk at that. Haggins will now dig in, looking, see if he can start something here. First pitch to the righty is a changeup low in the zone for strike 1. Feels like it's almost fools O'Neill with how he sets up and how he receives the ball. Almost like comes back across his body in a way. The catcher. The 0-1. That fastball stays up high. It's ball 1, excuse me. So 1-1. There we go. We're finding it. Well, Haggins, the rising junior for Dreer, had a walk in game number 2 of the doubleheader yesterday. The 1-1 is lined into left field. That will drop in front of Redden for a base knock. All the runners were hold, even though Redden couldn't come up with it quickly. But Haggins gets his first hit of the summer. A single to left field will load the bases up here for Davila. Well, after a strong start here from Evans, he's now allowed 2 singles and a walk here in the third inning after getting the first out. Red team trying to strike back, or they trail by 11, but they had the pieces on the table to start a rally here. After the first mound visit here in the summer for the gold team right here at Falcon Field, Evans will stay in the game. He will get Adrian Davila, who struck out swinging his first go-around off of 4 pitches. It's Adrian Davila. First pitch to Davila. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Davila will be going to Midlands Middle College this season, next season, I believe. The 1-0 fastball stays wide. It's 2-0. Join a long line of great people like myself who went to a middle college in high school. I was one in the upstate called Brazier, where I got my couple at bats in for the baseball team. 2-0 from the southpaw. That one's socked into center field. Coming on is Boyd. He'll make the one-handed grab for out number 2. Tagging at third is Fudger, but he will go back to the bag after a strong throw comes into the infield. Davila got a hold of one, but couldn't get one past the glove of Boyd. There's now 2 away. There's now a path for Brady Evans out of this inning, but it runs right through Luke Lockard. Lockard lined one right back up the middle, his first go-around in the second. Now he has the pieces on the table to, if he does that here, drive in a run. Southpaw v. Southpaw, 2 away, bottom 3, bases juiced. Evans fires. The first pitch is a breaking ball tapped to the right side. It will just go foul. The first baseman, Smoke, was trying to get it before it went into foul territory, but just couldn't grab it. Lockard in the 2 games yesterday went 2 for 6 here for the red team. Now he's a solid 3 for 7 on the season with an RBI. The 0-1. Fastball called, strike 2, right down Broadway. Well, Evans loaded the bases back in the second, got out of it with a strikeout. Now he's loaded the bases here in the third and is head 0-2 against Lockard, looking for another punch out. See if he can find it. The 0-2. Breaking ball that gets away, and it's going to be a swing and a miss, I guess. Technically, they're going to call it a drop third strike, so for the second time in this game, a drop third strike brings home a run as Fudger's able to come home. It looked like Evans wasn't sure if he swung, and they're trying to figure out if Lockard did swing, and they're going to say he went around. So again, second, third drop straight to bring home a run. Fudger comes home. Flake goes to third. Haggins goes to second. And now they're going to talk to the umpires, and it looked like it was close. They're going to say they're going to bring him back. So it did technically score a run. Either or, because it was technically a wild pitch. I'm saying it technically a lot. It was a wild pitch, so it will score a run no matter what the cost. Count will be 1-2 now with 2 gone. Runners at second and third with now an 11-1 lead for the Gold team. And it looked like to me, of course, you know, everyone loves their broadcasting a umpire, but it did look like Lockard did hold the swing back. I think he was just hoping to take first off the drop third strike. So it's a 1-2 count, 2 gone. Runners at second and third now. Evans will fire. The southpaw skips a fastball in. It's ball 2. You know, Lockard was going to try to take first. He may take first another way. Again, he already singled his first go around. He's now drawing the count back even 2-2. Evans will deal. The 2-2 is called, strike 3. Fastball low in the zone, freezes Lockhart, and that will retire the side. He strikes out, and this time we'll have to go to the dugout. It's the 5th strikeout for Evans, but he does allow an earned run. It's an 11-1 lead for the Gold team as we go into the 4th, right here on Definite Fiction. All right, welcome back to Falcon Field here in this battle between the 215's AAA teams. So far, it's going in favor of the Gold Squad, who have an 11-1 advantage here against the 215's red team. A couple of changes here. Cole Clary comes into the game to pitch. He relieves Hank Gaines after a solid outing for him, an inning and 2/3. And now Clary will don the hill for the first time for the red team this summer. At the dish, it's R.J. Hughes, who went in for fielding last half inning in the bottom of the third. He stays in to hit. So righty on righty, first time matchup here this summer. As a sidearm and Clary fires home, and it's a looks like fastball upstairs, 1-0. Clary played for Ben Lippen this past season, had 3 appearances, 0 earned runs, and 2 1/3 innings pitched. The 1-0, called strike 1. Fastball on the outside edge, it's 1-1. On the other side, R.J. Hughes was a part of the Cardinal Newman JV squad where he had a homer and 5 RBIs. 1-1 the count, righty on righty. Clary fires. Foul tipped back into the glove, a fastball on the outside. It's now 1-2. Due up this inning, it's 9-1-2. Hughes, Williams, and Smoke. As long as they don't change the batting lineup on me. Clary comes set, delivers. The 1-2 is way wide. It's ball 2. Of course, Cole Clary on the mound. Ben Clary's playing second, so don't get the two confused. And there's Jeff after what will be a successful lacrosse game. The 2-2 on the way. Changeup stays wide. It's ball 3. Filler up. 3-2. Nobody gone here in the top of the fourth. An 11-1 lead for the gold team over the red team. Again, that all came pretty much in the top of the second, a 9-run inning. The payoff on the way from Clary. Changeup up high. A nice job from Hughes, who fell behind 0-2, was able to work the count full and draw the leadoff walk. Well, now back to the top of the order we go. For the 4th time today, Jackson Williams will dig in. The right-handed second baseman has reached base 2 out of his 3 times, a single, a double, and he's also popped out. Righty on righty, runner at first here. First pitch from Clary home. Off speed stays outside in the left-handed box. It's 1-0. And I mentioned it earlier, I do have one of my good friends' name is Jackson Williams, call him J-Dub. Not sure if this Jackson Williams also goes by the same name. Runner goes, the 1-0, fastball called, strike 1 at the top of the zone. The throw to second is way late. Hughes will swipe second, his first stolen bag of the summer. The count will be 1-1 now with a runner at second here for Jackson Williams. I may instinctively call him J-Dub just looking down on it, so apologies in advance if that does happen, if he does not go by J-Dub. Time is called by Williams here at the dish. Williams is one of the most prolific hitters on that Vikings team. 6 doubles, 12 RBIs. He now has a runner in scoring position here with nobody gone in the top of the 4th. 1-1 the count. Clary comes home. The changeup stays up and away. It's ball 2. For those watching at home who don't know, the run rule is 10 runs after 5 innings, or 15 through 3. So the gold team tacks on 5 here in the inning, and the red team doesn't score. Ball game over. Of course, if they can hold this lead for 2 more innings, ball game also over. I do feel obligated to say it when we get somewhat close to the run rule. The 2-1 on the way from Clary. That one's driven to left field. Going back is Conley. He looks up, and it is off the wall. It'll be another double for Williams. Coming around from first is Hughes. He gets the wave home from third and will jog in to score. Williams' second double of the day. His first RBI of the summer. It's now a 12-1 lead. Now it's the left-handed Luke Smoke back up. I believe that may be actually a new hitter. They don't exactly tell me when the hitters come and change. So I'll have to check in 1 second, but 12-1 lead now. Hughes and Williams trade places here. First pitch from Clary, righty on lefty, is away, ball 1. And now it is still Smoke, I believe. I guess they haven't changed it yet, at least in their system, for Game Changer. Maybe I am wrong. There we go. See, that happens from time to time. Apologies, Luke. 1-0 from Clary. Swung on and missed. Change up on the outside edge. It's 1-1. Well, Smoke has singled, walked, and flown out thus far in his 3 plate appearances. He has a runner on second with nobody gone. The 1-1 from Clary. Off speeds, fouled straight back. It's 1-2. Oh, even though it's in the summer, with all the rain we had today, the humidity is pretty much non-existent, meaning it's just a cool 73 degrees here, and it doesn't feel terrible. The 1-2, swung on and missed. Maybe foul tipped into the glove, but it's good for strike 3. It's the first strikeout from Cole Clary here in the 4th, and there's now 1 away. Smoke retires to the dugout for the 2nd time today, and that brings up Brady Evans, who's only retired once to the dugout. He struck out swinging and has now drawn 2 walks back-to-back for him. It's righty on lefty with 1 away and a runner on second. The first pitch from Clary. That fastball's fouled straight back. It's 0-1. It's 1-0. Or no, 0-1. I was right. The scoreboard's just wrong. I do mix myself up way too easily with that. The 0-1 on the way. That ball is chopped to the right side. The first baseman, nice glove from Haggins. The flip from first to Clary's in time for out 2. Wow. Took a weird bounce. Haggins had to glove it late, a stab, if you will. And Clary heads up play, covering from the mound. Looked like it would have been Haggins' ball to take to first, but instead, with that weird bounce, he had to kind of take his weight for his kind of towards the back of his heels just to snag it. Either way, it's good for out number 2. Williams moves to third. Now with 2 gone, here it's Jacob Smoke. So righty on righty runner at third here. Clary comes home. The first pitch to Smoke. Off speed in the left-handed box. It's 1-0. Again, a 12-1 lead here for the Gold Team. An RBI double from Jackson Williams toward the left center field gap yet again. We're here in the top of the 4th. 1-0 count, 2 gone. With a runner on third here for the Gold Team and Jacob Smoke at the dish. The 1-0 off speed swung through. It'll be 1-1 now. Clary, kind of a weird pitching motion. He's hunched over in more of a closed stance, if you will, on the mound. He comes set to deliver the 1-1, and that pitch is high and away. A fastball, it's 2-1. Of course, Jeff will be right back here tomorrow night. The senior team will play in their first home game of the season. They host Post 15. I will be away on vacation, so I'll be listening at home with everybody else. The 2-1 off speed hits the dirt. Nice job from Fudger to get in front of it. That was all the way at the edge of the left-handed batter's box. It's now 3-1. First and second are open, however, bring up Cedric O'Neill, the catcher here for the Gold Team. The 3-1 from Clary. Change-up misses wide. A 5-pitch walk will put runners at the corners with 2 away. So Cole Clary on the bump. He'll now get Cedric O'Neill at the dish. Righty on righty, 2 away, runners at the corners. O'Neill 0 for 2 is fouled out to the catcher, grounded out to the third baseman, and walked thus far in his 3 plate appearances. Gold team ahead 12-1 here at Falcon Field. Looking to try to repeat their championship success last season. Now time called from O'Neill. Looked like Smoke at first was getting a pretty big lead. He may have tried to go as Clary wasn't looking over there, and Haggins isn't holding him on first. Now on cue, I mean, almost as I told him to do it, Haggins jogs over to first to hold Smoke. First pitch on the way to O'Neill. It's called strike 1, almost like a 2-seamer. Gyro pitch comes on the outside edge. The 0-1. Fastball, that one's chopped over to the first baseman. Haggins jumps in, makes a nice grab. He'll step on the bag. What a play from the first baseman, Haggins, yet again. A tough bounce on the 2-out ball, and now that one on the 1-out ball, and that will retire this side. However, the Gold team strikes yet again. RBI double from Williams. It's a 12-1 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back here to Definite Fiction. Bottom of the 4th, set to begin. And of course, even though I was able to move inside, the rain seems to have ceased here at Falcon Field. Hopefully, it'll stay dry for the end of this one. Well, the left-handed Brady Evans comes back to the bump. First pitch is low into the dirt. Ball 1. Evans has gotten in and out of trouble these last couple innings. As it'll be righty on righty. Swung on and missed for strike 1. 1-1 the count now. With nobody gone here in the bottom of the 4th, at the dish is Cole Clary. He is hitting for Campbell Conley. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Fastball on the outside edge. It's quickly 1-2. Well, Clary went 0 for 3 in the doubleheader yesterday. He was hit .333 for Ben Lippen, though. The 1-2. Fastball ranges in tight. It's ball 2. Of course, I'm blessed to be back here. Big shout out to Coach Dorsey if he's listening on his way home. I was with this team about 2 summers ago, and now I'm back with them here in 2025. 2-2 is popped to the right side out of play quickly. It'll stay 2-2. Last summer, of course, I know they're not listening. They have a game of their own to watch, but of course, the owners of the Blowfish, Bill and Vicky Shanahan, took a chance on a kid, and I was able to be the voice of Lexington County on their run to the CPL championship game where they lost to Wilmington. 2-2. Change up on the inside, misses low for ball 3, and that'll run the count full. 3-2, nobody gone, nobody on the base pass here in the bottom of the 4th. It's a 12-1 lead for the gold team over the red team, but Cole Clary and the red team trying to get some runners on the base pass here against Evans. The payoff, called strike 3 on the outside edge, froze him on ice as Clary was not happy about that one. There's now 1 away. It's the 6th strikeout of the inning, of the game, excuse me, here for Evans, and now it'll bring up I'll not bring up Gaines, that is someone else. I keep getting the lineup switching me. That is Campbell Conley, who is supposed to be hitting here, and now they're right back to where he should be, I believe. So the left-hander fouls that one back into the net. It's 0-1. You know, with both these teams being in front of the 2-1-5 umbrella, they're probably able to move the lineup around a little easier, so Conley hit 7, now he's hitting 8 here. After Conley, it'll be Ben Clary on deck, and if it gets that far, Riggs Scott in the hole. The 0-1 from the southpaw. Curveball swung on in, missed. Big bender breaks the outside part of the plate against the southpaw. It's 0-2. The 0-2 on the way is popped to the left side foul. We'll do it one more time. Something like that. Conley for the JV team for the Skyhawks at .240 this past season. The left-hander behind, 0-2. Swung on in, miss. It's a curveball in the dirt. O'Neal gets it. A live throw goes into right field, so Conley will take first on the top 3rd strike. The 3rd time that comes into effect here this evening. So another strikeout. It is strikeout number 7 for Evans, but it's a 1-out base runner here as Conley is aboard. So the last batter in the lineup, Ben Clary, is up here for the red team before the lineup will turn right back over to Riggs Scott, who's waiting now on deck. Southpaw v. Southpaw, 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. 12-1 lead, excuse me, here for the 2-1-5's gold team. Evans fires the first pitch. Big swing and a miss through an upstairs heater. It's 0-1. I think Clary took his eye off the ball there, like trying to swing out of his shoes. Middle infield playing double play depth. The 0-1 is called. Strike 2, fastball on the inside part of the plate. Nice pitch from Evans. Evans will wheel and deal the 0-2. Fastball up and in, ball 1.
Get ready to go. Come on. Hit a ball. Punch the plate.
Evans kicks and deals the 1-2. Fastball called, strike 3. Froze him on ice on the inside part of the plate, and there's 2 away. Technically, the 3rd strikeout of the inning is good for out number 2 after the drop 3rd strike. Got Conley aboard, and now the top of the order back up. It's Riggs Scott. 0 for 2 today, but of course Riggs had an incredible couple games yesterday for the red team. The right-hander digs in against the southpaw and watches the changeup paint the inside part of the plate. It's 1-0. It's 0-1. Riggs was 3 for 7 yesterday in the doubleheader. Had 5 RBIs. The 0-1. That one's lined to the right side, but it will go foul in a hurry. It's 0-2. Riggs was 3 for 3 on the varsity team with 5 RBIs that game in the R&E game on senior night for AC Flora. For JV, he hit .275 with 7 RBIs. Of course, talking to his dad, he's the younger brother of Charlie, as the 0-2 is high, ball 1. And of course, Riggs has a chance to really break out in the next couple of months. Well, really the next 12 months, to, as Austin so lightly put it. Let's see if he can make a name for himself here for AC Flora. Unfortunately, though, what a pitch from Evans. Breaking ball comes right down the heart of the plate, and that is strike 3, a beautiful bender. So 4 strikeouts in the innings for Evans. That would have froze probably Charlie as well. And that will retire the side. 12-1 lead for the Gold team going to the top of the 5th. Welcome back here on Definite Fiction. Here it's the 2-1-5 AAA teams doing battle here this evening. And so far it's been all gold, 12-1 lead. Here's we're set to begin the top of the 5th. Looks like it'll be Cole Conley staying on. Yeah. Rougher start to the inning, but then quickly calmed down and retired the side for the Gold team after a leadoff walk in, a double, went strikeout, ground out to end the inning. Now he has 5, 6, 7, and 8, due up. Again, I'm finding my feet along with all these players after we're starting the summer season off strong. First pitch was fouled off. It's 0-1 here. Righty on righty. Clary to O'Neill. Clary fires the fastball upstairs and doesn't even get the glove. It's nothing. It's 1-1. Long pause for Clary. Now he'll step off as Jacob O'Neill will step back as well. The third baseman here for the Gold team has reached base all 3 times after walking twice and a drop third strike. The 1-1. Off speed, that one softly tapped to the right side. The second baseman, Ben Clary, has it. Throws to first. A high throw is not in time. They're saying Haggins was drawn off the bag. It looked to me like Haggins held the tag, but instead it'll be, I believe, maybe an error on the red team.
Okay, it's okay.
That's how leading off runners aboard is Jacob O'Neill at first. Now it's Roland Boyd back up to the dish. Righty on righty. Here with nobody gone and a runner at first in the top of the 5th. Of course, as I said last night, if this score holds, it will be a run rule. They're actually going to rule that a hit, so it is going to be now the 8th hit of the game for the Gold team. An infield single for Jacob O'Neill. Fastball missed high in this right-handed showdown. It's 1-0.